Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the Refueling Station Live. I am your host, Dr. Erin Wheeler. I am the CEO of Gracefully Productive. And at Gracefully Productive, we do executive coaching, we do coaching, leadership consulting, but our specialty and a personal passion of mine is supporting social impact leaders of color who are championing equity in all spaces. I know the personal journey, and so I've dedicated this phase of my career to supporting those on the front line and specifically caring for their well being so they can continue in the fight and have more impact and more consecutive wins. So it's been a minute since I've been on any social media channels, and I wanted to tell you what I've been up to before we get started in our to go further in the show. So, as of August 1, I've taken the big leap into full time entrepreneurship where I'll be building out, of course, Gracefully Productive, but I have a couple other things in the works that I will be bringing out and showing and telling you in the coming months. Of course, I cannot stay away from higher ed, so I will go back to dipping my toe into higher ed consulting, working on projects that really fuel my passion, of course, with student success, learning, equity in college completion, all of those great things. So that's what I've been doing. And then, like, I needed a hole in my head. I decided to have this really big summit 2 weeks after I have after I transitioned from my full-time role. The Well Wise winning the Well Wise Leaders Retreat or Summit that was held in New Orleans August 17th was a complete success. I'm still amazed. We had a great time. I had a great group of participants. I was nervous because it was brand new material curriculum that I'd never tried. It was a very different departure from my productivity retreat for women that I've been having for the past 4 years. So I was very, very nervous. I was on autopilot. I'm still processing it. And it went so well that I immediately started to plan the next one for 2024. So stay tuned to your email, social media. If you didn't get a chance to come and you wanted to, I'll be changing a little bit, but refining, making a better experience. We had it in August this year, but I'm planning to have it April 2024. I feel like that's a sweet spot. It's spring break. It's after Mardi Gras for my Louisianians who want to follow me to the next destination. It's the point where we all need a refresher. I love the beach. It'll be somewhere beachy, sunny, not too hot, not too cold. I feel like that's the perfect month. We will see. I definitely believe it will be. So that's what I've been doing. And then after that, I recouped for a little bit, about 2 weeks, had a couple of presentations. But other than that, I've been really taking the time to really plan, dream, do, sit with a couple things, actually having some thoughts, reading a book, writing notes, preparing, learning new things, planning out my signature coaching programs, which you'll learn more about. I've just been chilling, but of course, old habits are hard to break. So I'm trying to say, hey, Aaron, you have a little bit of freedom. You have some autonomy. This is your thing. You can handle it like you want to handle it. If you want to take a nap, take a nap. If you want to stop, stop. If you need to keep going, keep going. And so it's been really hard. And one of the things that's not necessarily a habit, but just trying to understand where I am on this journey and figuring out the new me, new process, new place, even new wardrobe. All things are very new. And one of the things I've been working on is my Revive and Thrive, my signature one-to-one coaching. Of course, I still do coaching. If you need executive coaching, I will meet you where you are, process your goals. But I wanted to make something a little specific. And I've always wanted to delve into energy management. I've been using this principle for a long time. It's been operating my life, but I wanted to learn and dive deep into and give some a little bit of meat to what I've been doing and see if I even if I can improve those tips for myself. So I've been the productivity coach, planner, academic coach who has always been against time management, right? But even in operating my new space, I wanted to do something. I still needed to adjust the way I handle and I move, even in my entrepreneurship journey, just with balancing all my responsibilities. So this principle still spoke loudly, and so that's why I am here today to talk about the TikTok trap of time management. Even some of my old habits of trying to manage time snuck up, but I wanted to bring up why this isn't a great way to live our life. So when I was preparing for this, one story popped up. So early on in my career as an academic coach, I saw a lot of students and they were supposed to come to my office talk about how to improve their grades. But of course, once they left, we have discussed every part of their life because it's not just about study habits and that's not all that's needed to get good grades in college and be successful. It's usually just life. It's life and personal habits. So I we took a deep dive. And so one of the things that was a very good activity for students to do, actually to see where their time goes, not necessarily a time management tool, but seeing where your time goes. A weekly calendar. So I went through, hey, put all your classes down, see them in one space, take it out of that linear printout you get from the website, put it down, see how long it'll take you to walk from building to building. Um, what else do you need? So we blocked it all out on the weekly planner. And this young man who has graduated and successful, he's like, I got it, right? And so, okay, well, show me, come back, fill this out, put all the things you need. And so he came back. He was like, Dr. Wheeler, I got it. And he showed me the plan. I was like, what you got? What you doing on Monday? What's the rhythm of your week? And so he was like, I'm gonna get up at 8, I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go to class, I'm gonna go to lunch, and then I'm gonna go to another class, and I'm gonna go to the diner, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. And he was so happy that he had it all laid out. And I was like, this is great, but there's missing a couple of things. And so he had all of his stuff planned out. His meals were planned to a T. The time he's going to the gym was planned to a T. But he was missing some really important things like studying and other things he needed to do. But while he was in college learning new things, I am finding that adults, professionals still operate in this manner. We have very pretty color coded planners, journals, bullet, any kind of things you have, bullet journals, um, weekly planners, monthly planners, daily to do lists, digital, paper, Outlook calendars, Google calendars, Asanas, you name it. There's an assortment of things. I use some of those things. It's not saying that you don't, but the question is, what are you really getting out of it? If we're not, um, we can plan to be busy and still accomplish nothing by the end of the day or end of the week, right? So the truth is we can't manage time. We can't. It's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. The sun is going to come up at a certain time, go down. We can't manage that. We can't add as much as you try to stretch the day, it's not going to happen. It's still going to be the next day, right? And so that's not a good concept to lock on to. I know we've been taught to manage your time. But the real thing that I really teach my clients and that I practice myself is managing your thoughts and behaviors to take advantage of the time that we have. Right. So that's something we can manage. We have no control over the time. That's it's gonna TikTok on, right? But we can manage how we use our thoughts and behaviors to take advantage of the time we have in the day and ultimately the time we have on this earth, which is truly precious, right? So I have 5 ways that time management is faulty. The first way, it neglects our individual energy levels. So, not just individually, it neglects energy levels throughout the day for women, throughout the month, throughout the week. If you're sick, it doesn't matter. You can block off as much time as you need and think, oh, yes, I got the perfect day schedule. But if you're not doing anything, if you're not renewing your energy, if you are giving too much energy at the top of the day, you're going to lose steam. And so we set ourselves up for this cognitive failure, this motivational failure where we go, I got the perfect day ironed out, right? It's blocked off. I got my meetings. I got this, I got that. And then we get so down on ourselves when the day doesn't go as planned. And then we get down on ourselves when we don't have the energy to keep going. So that's when we fight taking the nap. We get more coffee. We do different things and we keep fighting our bodies when our bodies is telling us, I didn't plan this. You did. I had no intention of doing all this stuff today. You did, right? And so time management ignores, we don't even pay attention to our own body rhythm, right? And so one of the things that I would, learn to do is figure out when do you have the most energy? When do you run out of steam? I know my day is shot at 2. Once I eat lunch, it's done. It's downhill from there. My brain is gone. I might can take a nap and recoup and do a little bit more. It depends. It just depends, right? And so if you have this lock on your time and your body is saying no, then what are you going to do? Where are you going to get the energy from? Right? Time management ignores prioritization. I see this a lot of times at my productivity retreats with clients. My colleagues, they will have everything packed to the max on their day, and none of that has anything to do with their goals. And I know you heard me talk about on actually some of my shows is that at the end of the day and at the beginning, I ask myself, what will I do for myself today? And what have I done for myself today? Whether that's move my body, listen to a sermon, work on an important project to me, especially when I was working, I made sure I did something for me at the end of the day. But you have to prioritize that. And most times, our time management has nothing to do with what's important in our lives. So that's why we find ourselves booked and busy and have nothing to show for it. Number 3, overemphasis on quantity over quality. So I've seen, and I even I even get triggered by seeing some people's calendars, right? Whether by accident they tell me what they got to do and I get overwhelmed. And it doesn't leave any time for you to drink water. It doesn't leave any time for you to go to the bathroom. It doesn't leave any time for you to even warm up your food to pretend like you're going to go somewhere and eat. You have scheduled yourself back to back and you did not allow any room for mistakes, right? Life happens. You can't plan for it. But time management is such a false, fake way of thinking about our time. It just ignores um it ignores a lot of things, and quality is one of them. I like I said, I even underestimate myself sitting down preparing for this or writing a blog or even social media. I'd be like, oh, I can get that done. And then no, for me to do it right, I have to have more time. So sometimes we're not even honest with ourselves to say, I may need more time to do this, right? I may need more time for me to focus. Um, and so we usually pack ourselves to the max and turn in mediocre work, which has a bearing on our success on the job or at home. Number 4, time management ignores mental and emotional well being. Sometimes you can wake up with the best intentions of the day. Even when you have the best strategies, your mind and your emotions may not be in it. This is a time when you may need some emotional and mental rest, right? And so time management ignores that. It ignores that fact. If you're managing your time with paper calendars and just blocking things off just to get things done, you're missing out and you're treating yourself like a robot. You're treating yourself like there's nothing else that can happen. You might get a bad phone call It might be a conversation that you didn't intend in having that has a bearing on what you do. Yes, you can reset, but sometimes you need a longer reset, and time management does not include that. And lastly, time management is not adaptable to change. And I don't know if you worked with certain people, or you might be this person yourself. Sometimes I am, I'm not gonna lie. Um, to where you have this perfect day plan and it just all goes to hell. It just goes out the window, and you can't rebound, you can't regroup. So you don't have any, and so what happens then is that you gotta call people and say, I'm gonna be late. I can't do this. And now you're feeling like crap because you have let so many people down because you didn't allow any flexibility in your own schedule. Um, and that can lead to stress, frustration. It can um impact your mental well-being, where you're always feeling like you're running and chasing behind the bus. I hate that feeling, like you're always behind. And so this is the reality behind time management, as we were taught to do, as some even workshops teach you to do, right? So I know it's not easy to do that. I'm even have to constantly think outside that box. So what can you do instead of managing your time? This is my favorite. So you can manage your thoughts. 9 times out of 10, when we feel like we don't have enough time, or we never audit time, right? Um, it's usually due to our thoughts. This is where the self-defeating thoughts, I don't have time, it's going to take me longer to do it. I need some help to do it. I don't have the resource, the money, all these things that come into your mind that helps you procrastinate and waste time. Um, that is because of the way we're thinking, right? So I have to trick myself because I'm a perfectionist, but I need the right conditions. Per, that's my form of procrastination, is that I need the right conditions and I overthink. So I'm usually paralyzed and I have to unparalyze myself, and I do that by thinking certain things. So my research and all my work in my career has been on metacognition. I teach that to students, but it's a real thing that professionals and adults can use, right? And so it's thinking about thinking. What are you thinking about when you tend to waste the most of your time, or not using your time wisely, right? Um, for me, it's always definitely the stuff that I don't want to do, or definitely the things that I'm scared to do. Whether it's exercising, like, oh my God, I got to do this, this, and that just to get to the park and walk. And it's like, not really, just put on your clothes, find something, pick up your shoes and go, right? Um, it could be cooking healthy meals. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to tackle this project. It If you always say that, and so my trick that I use is to manage my thoughts is, you can do anything in an hour. So even cleaning, all right? Turn on my favorite music or podcast or something that's an hour. Whatever I get done in this hour, I'm done. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go over an hour and finish what I need to do. Just over an hour, right? I have to trick myself into exercising. 10 minutes is better than zero, right? Going for a walk, stretching is better than sitting in the chair all day. So you have to trick yourself into thinking, so you can better make use of your time. You're not managing it, you're just making better use of it. Number two, what else can you manage besides time? You can manage your behavior. So once you switch the thoughts, your behavior will follow. Our habits and our behaviors are keeping us from our best selves. What are the things that we need to do? Um, what are the things we need to stop doing that are time wasters? Right? I know for me, about 3 months ago, when I was preparing for my transition, preparing for my summit, and just getting ready, just getting mentally ready, I had to put a child lock on my social media. Like I could only look at it for a certain number of time after 5 o'clock. And it's probably going back on, right? Because I feel like I need it. But I hate doing posts. I know y'all say, hey, Dr. Wheeler, your posts look great. You're doing great social media. I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be because I spend so much time consuming social media because I hate it so much. I'm thinking, oh my God, I have to go to Canva and how do I schedule and what do I do? And I got to cut and I got to do this. And they want me to do reels and they want me to go live and they want me to do stories. I just like, I'm not doing any of it. So I have to manage that behavior. I have to quit. By the time I consume Instagram for 15, 20. You can keep scrolling and scroll for an hour. Watch it the next time you're on scrolling. See how long it takes you, right? And so in that 15, 20 minutes, I could have brainstorm topics for the week. I could have clicked on Canva on my phone, did one post, posted it, and that post could actually get me money, right? But it's a mental block that I have that I'm trying to overcome. But that's the way that I have to manage my behavior, even if it takes having a child lock on your social media, right? It's not just for kids and iPads. And so that could be anything that I'm trying to improve about myself. I this week I spent a copious amount of time putting exercise things together. Put them in one place. I don't have no excuse when I wake up in the morning, put on your clothes and go walking, right? Another example of managing your behavior is choosing a choosing a smoothie over a donut. I live right behind a donut stand, y'all. I make a choice to get in my car in the garage and back out so I don't have to smell like if I lift a garage and I smell it and I gotta drive by, it's over. So I've been living in my house for 10 years, and that's been a trick of mine for that long because I love donuts. I love bread. But that is the way that I'm managing my behavior, right? Another way to manage my behavior, I managed where I walk in a grocery store. I only shop on the outside aisles instead of going inside with the processed foods, right? Unless it's very strategic. So there's different ways to manage your behavior, almost the way you have to help a kid manage theirs, right? Once we think about it, adults are not that far from being a kid. Um, so, third, and my favorite piece is managing your energy. So, you may have the time to do things, but do you have the energy, right? Are you renewing the energy so you can have more of it? Are you wasting your energy on stuff that doesn't matter so you can have more of it? And are you working in your own bodily rhythm? So some you say, "Oh, I'm a night owl. Oh, I can wake up at 5." I have a friend that I'm like, by the time you text me at 8 o'clock, you've been up for like 5 hours. Like you can't expect me to text back that quick because I'm just now rolling over. Um, some people have different rhythms, and you have to find your energy. And some people say, "Hey, that's my job is not going to let up. I have to do." No, once you start advocating for yourself and you can deliver, it's going to speak for itself. So an easy way that I have been doing this, and especially when I actually had the autonomy, even when I didn't, I used to do it. Even when I didn't really have control over my schedule early in my career and I had to meet with students all the time, I would put a block. It'll look like a block that I was doing something. I was just mentally preparing. I really don't want to talk to anybody before 9. I'm talking to God, talking to myself. I don't want to do that. So even when I didn't, I used to block it out to where, okay, this is my daily planning. This is the time where I do what I need to. But for me, even I realized that my creativity works better if I can get to a piece of paper or a computer without anything on. I can write quickly and get it out of the way. Now, if I save writing towards the end of the day, I'm just going to look at a blank screen because my mental energy is gone. Um, on yesterday, I did a presentation. I peopled all day as an introvert. That drains my energy. So I I really did block off my whole day. And I said, if I have the energy, here are three things that I want to knock off if I come back from this conference and I have the energy to do it. I did not have the energy to do it. And so therefore I have to block it out today. When I get off this live, my energy is depleted. I don't even see y'all, right? But it's just the nerves and the ramping up depletes. I just need to take a nap, regroup, and we're gonna do something else after this. But even introvert extrovert is based on how you gain your energy. I gain my energy in reflection and solitary. In solitary, I'm about to say confinement. That's not what it is. Some people say I live in a dark hole. That's not at all what I do, but it is, I need that solitary, that solitude to really reflect, be weird, look at my Marvel shows, just think, do, and just reflect, right? I need that. And then I can go outside and do it. I'm peopling all this weekend. And guess what? I'm peopling all next week and the week after. So November, I am setting strategic time for me to regroup and regroup, so I can be nice and pleasant when I go outside, right? Um, and so you have to think about energy. And so even exercising and eating the right things and taking rest is managing your energy. And so this is a topic is really exciting. And even when I tested with people who didn't know me on the calls that I've been having the past couple of months, they've been really excited because they never have heard this. So that's why I am doing the next 3 weeks. I'm diving deeper into energy management as a way to fuel your productivity and limit burnout, right? So, first, you have to streamline your life to have more energy. You have to do the right things to replenish your energy and do some things to protect your energy, right? And so, some people, you might have to limit some time with some people. When you have the energy to deal with them, great. If you don't, put a block, send a text, do whatever's the least that you have to do. And so that is the three things that you can manage instead of time: your energy, your thoughts, and your behavior. And you will see that you can get more done in less time and still have some left over, energy left over. When you, if you are an achiever like me, just seeing like, oh, wait, I did something today. I actually mopped my floors that I hate doing. Once I can do that, I can write, I can do all the things I want to do. That's something that brings me energy. So I need to keep just check something off, right? And so those are things that you can get more stuff done, less time, less stress, have more peace, have more energy, have more time, more energy for the people that you need, your family, your friends to invest in, and have the energy to be present and not feel so tired after we've been ripping and running outside in the streets, right? So I know this is a different perspective, and that's why I'm diving into it a little bit more. So next week I'll talk about the principles of energy management, and then I'll talk about the four sources of energy management. And the weeks after that, I talk about how we squander our energy and then how we can renew it, all leading up to me rolling out my Revive and Thrive one-to-one coaching program for people who just really need a boost and really need to do some big life changes so they could escape burnout. It's the same things I use to get my life together, and I'll be sharing them in this special program. So you don't have to wait for that to roll out. I am accepting one-to-one clients. So you can go to my website, gracefullyproductive.com, and book your free mini coaching session. I know most of us have not worked with a coach. I actually have two coaches right now walking me through this entrepreneurship thing because I am so in my head all the time. I need somebody to talk it out. You know, they'll easily say, "Hey, that's you making a mountain out of a molehill. Chill. That's not important." And that has helped me tremendously. Actually, I have three. I knew I needed the support to really help me through this process, and so I am happy to be that coach for you. I know some of us, even in our culture, Black culture, people of color, we're not used to getting that. It's investment in yourself, but um I know it works for me. I know my clients are happy, and I am happy to be your coach. I'm excited to be have an opportunity to be your coach. And if you just want to see how it feels, book your mini coaching session at gracefullyproductive.com and join me next week, same time. It will be pre-recorded, but I'll be live chatting with you um, to tune in. And if you're watching this later, thank you for watching. Follow me on or subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're so happen to watching me on LinkedIn, join me on Instagram, Facebook, so we can connect on all these channels. And I am thankful and really excited to dive into this. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.